Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. D style here. Make sure you throw a jab at that like button. Throw 1, 2 at the share button while you're at it and share my video. Throw a hook at that bell button. That way you are notified every time D style comes on live. What's going on, everybody? This has been a long time coming. As you can tell, we're getting away from all that politics, and we're getting away from, a lot of this other talk, and we're getting back into this boxing groove, but one thing I never did was give a salute to Orlando Salido. Orlando Salido, I never gave him his salute. I'm declaring this Orlando Salido Appreciation Week is what I'm, that's right. No, but there's no, but I already declared it. It's been declared. Mayor D-Style has already declared this. It's been done. There's no turning it back. There's no nothing. Orlando Salido is something else, man. Respect to that man. Respect to Orlando Salido. Check it out. We're going to go ahead and talk a couple things here. First of all, sometimes I just get these videos started and I don't even realize, especially last video, I do apologize. The mic was way, way too close to my mouth. All right. And it sounded like that. Like, no more of that. Check it out. Check this out, man. Who is, like, riddle me this, riddle me that. Who's the 1 and 21? I'm sorry, and 13 and 1. Who's the 1 and 13 and 1? That is the riddle of the day. I know it is. D-Style knows exactly who it is. That is Orlando Salido. As we all know, Lomachenko is 13 and 1, and we know who's the 1 and 13 and 1. All right? That's right. I poll my channel. You go ahead and check it out. You go to the communities page. It's there. Best win of Lomachenko's career. Looks like that one's winning. Great win. I mean, what a win. Nothing but winning from Orlando Salido's side. But check it out. The Tursak fight, was, a big deal in my opinion. I think that was a big win for him. But the Lomachenko one takes the cake, according to the votes here. 74%. All right, so far. And Juanma, people forget how big of an upset that was, right? It's easy to look now and like, ooh, he beat Juanma. But back in that time, Juanma was an up-and-coming fighter with a lot of promise. And everybody kept waiting for that Juan Manuel Lopez versus Yoroquez Gamboa fight. Like, Top Rank kept putting these guys against common opponents over and over and over again, and then it backfired. Because that's what happens. You keep playing with this shit, it happens. Look at what happened with Pacquiao and fucking Marquez. No, we're going to keep putting him in the ring. We're going to put him back in the ring with Marquez to prove that he could beat him better than Mayweather did. And bam! It was like, what happened? First, many feel that Marquez was robbed in the third fight, and then he knocked him out in the fourth fight. Marquez was like, I'm done with this fucking judges shit. I'm gonna knock the dude out. And that's what he did. He's like, after 3 fights, I have a pretty clear idea what to do. And he did. Check it out. Orlando Salido, he actually one of my favorite fighters of the last, 20 years or so. He was, first of all, he was fun to watch, right? The dude came to fight every fight, right? He didn't come down to lay down for, he didn't come to lay down for anybody. Didn't matter. Oh, this guy, he's supposed to, okay, put me in the ring with him. I didn't get the memo that I got to lose. Where's the memo? Always came in to fight. Now, granted, that sounds like obvious, right? Oh, come on. These all fighters come in to fight. I mean, that's the definition of fighting. You know what I mean. There's fighters that come in and they just kind of, they're okay with going the distance as long as they don't get knocked out. There's fighters that come in and, they're content. Start building excuses. They can say, oh, if I tried my best, I would have done this, I would have done that, but I didn't try my best. All that horse shit. Salido was not that type of fighter. This man maximized his potential. And let me tell you something else. This type of fighter is a dying breed, right? This is a dying breed of a fighter. Like guys like Orlando Salido, like Glenn Johnson comes to mind. These tough, rugged, always kind of fight and could pull an upset against top fighters. They just, sure, you look at their records, right, and you could say, oh, but look at their losses. First of all, a lot of the losses were early when he was a kid learning on the job. That's number one. But also look how active he was. Look how he kept fighting the top fighters in his divisions. All right, so Orlando Salido came in and he did what he had to do every single time. You never saw Orlando Salido and said, man, that dude's just content to be here. He's just waiting for the bell to ring. I never saw it. I never saw that. All right. Never saw it at all, actually. So I have a great appreciation for Orlando Salido. Does he belong in the Hall of Fame? That's the question. Look, if boxing's Hall of Fame was like this very strict, only the tops, only the top elite fighters get in, and based on accomplishment / abilities, and then maybe I would say no. But in this case, I mean, you got Arturo Gatti in the Hall of Fame. I mean, what do you want me to say? That he shouldn't get in? First of all, he's a better fighter than Arturo Gatti. That's number one. Number two, has better victories than Arturo Gatti ever did. More achievements. So, of course, Orlando Salido belongs in the Hall of Fame. And you know what? When he goes, like, what did he retire in 2017? So what would it be like? 2022 or so? I think D-Style's going to be there. I want to be there when this man gets inducted. All right? That's what I want. Cornwall 1888, I see your comment. We'll get to it. I'm not ignoring anybody. Just want to get through this really quick. Check it out. Riddle me this. Riddle me that. Who's the 1 and 13 and 1? Make no mistake about it. Orlando Salido was not put in the ring with Juan Manuel Lopez to win. He was put in there so they can hype up. Top Rank wanted to keep hyping up. And the Gamboa Juanma fight. I mean, talk about marinating. they marinated that fight so much it got spoiled. All right, you got to be careful how much you marinate. Okay, you can only marinate so much. The best part was Bob Bear, fucking Bob Bear. Bob, oh man, Bob Arum. Okay, classic Bob Arum. He goes because the Bradley Alexander fight had just happened, right? And first of all, the promotion for, I mean, that's when guys like Gary Shaw had deals with I mean, just terrible, right? And they put Bradley Alexander in a defunct stadium of all things, all right? Instead of putting the fight, I don't know, in St. Louis and in a fight town like Las Vegas, New York. No, they did the fight in fucking Detroit in the Silver Dome that wasn't even used anymore. I mean, who does that? Gary Shaw did that. Was it Gary Shaw? I forgot who was involved in this fight, promotion. Terrible promoting, right? So nobody really knew about the fight. And then Devin Alexander did what I just told you Orlando Salido never did. He was just content, right? He was just content. He already had his guaranteed for his next fight, right? So the dude was just content with whatever was, you know, with the result of the fight, okay? He was just content. I don't really fault Bradley much in that fight, okay? And then Bradley's big dome lands in the, you know, on Alexander. Alexander touches the wrong side of his face where Bradley didn't hit him, and he goes, ah! Then he, you know, he got out of the fight. This is 2000s fighters, guys. This is what we're dealing with. All right. That's what happens when you guarantee them like ridiculous $1 million payday and their next fight. Or I think it was even more than that. Ridiculous. All right. Anyway, Bob Arum, I'll never forget it. Okay, before the Salido Juanma fight, the press kept pressing him, which is what the press should do. Press, right? They were asking him, Bob, so when are we going to make the fight? I think now is the time. Juanma versus Gamboa. We've seen him with common opponents already. You know, don't you think you're playing with fire? You know? Hello, Bob. Are we going to make the fight, Bob? They're both undefeated, young guns. Are we going to do this? Puerto Rico versus Cuba. Are we going to do this, Bob? I am not going to make the same mistake that was done for Bradley versus Alexander. Look at what happened in that fight. Well, at least the fight happened. No, nobody told Salido. Salido was unaware, right, that he had to lose that fight. Now, nobody told him. Now, he showed up like, okay, who am I fighting? Now, this, okay. All right? People just assumed that he's going to lose. They just assumed. Juan Manuel Lopez was 30 victories, 0 losses, folks. He was a WBO champ. I mean, Salido was coming off a decision loss to, you know, Gamboa. Of course. I mean, so Juanma's supposed to win, right? We're playing the who wins in more impressive fashion. And that's what we're doing. Because that's what they were doing. That's what promoters do. Salido came in, man. Let me tell you something. Juanma threw everything at Salido, and Salido was still in front of him. Juanma wasn't used to landing bombs, and the guy doesn't go anywhere. Right? Imagine seeing a dude step on a freaking line. Imagine a dude, okay, stepping on a landmine. I'm sorry, and like nothing happens. Like, what would you do? Like, honestly, like you would probably be like, "Holy shit!" Imagine you shot somebody and like they didn't move. Like, they just kept coming at you. Just looked at their wound, like, "What the fuck?" And it just kept coming at you. Like, you'd be scared, right? That's the look Juan Manuel Lopez had, right? When he was landing his best shots against Salido, and Salido didn't go anywhere, and he kept coming and he kept coming. Okay, let me tell you something. If you weren't made of steel in that ring, Salido would expose your ass. You want to know the dude's for real? You put him in the ring with Salido. And we'll find out how much grit and heart he's got. Because he's going to put pressure and he's not going to stop. He's like a fucking zombie in that department. Salido kept landing straights on Juanma. Juanma had no answers. Stopped him. Stopped him. It was a TKO, but he stopped him. Salido stayed active. They put him in the ring again. Right? Oh, no, but this time Juanma's going to be prepared. He's going to box smart, and he's going to do this, and he's going to do that. He didn't do shit, right, other than get loose again. That's all that happened. I TKO'd again. I'm just looking at, just watching Juanma just get undressed in the ring was something else. Because this word gets overused a lot, but exposed is the proper word for this fight. He exposed Juan Manuel Lopez. And there went the dreams of a Gamboa Juanma fight. 250 Young Guns. The dream was gone. Most educated people, like myself, knew Gamboa would win that fight, by the way. But, you know, we didn't even have to get there. So salute. I remember before the rematch with Juan Manuel Lopez, Orlando Salido was on this show called Rope-A-Dope Radio. I was doing the translation, man, and I really got to, in that short span of time, really grasp and understand the man that is Orlando Salido. I forgot which of the panelists asked, is there anything you could do? Is there anything you see that Juanma could do? Anything at all that Juanma could do, to stop the right hand? Anything. Salido said, I don't see anything. And he was right. Nothing. He couldn't do anything. Now, Salido had several ways he set up that right hand, by the way. But Lopez had no answers, and you saw it. But speaking of that interview, man, I remember when he talked about, what motivated you, right, to start boxing? Like, what got you into boxing, right? And then he goes, I was hungry, he said. He said in Spanish. I was translating, but he said, hunger. And I said to the interview, oh, yeah, he said he got into it because he was hungry, right? Now, at first, I didn't get it. I thought he meant, like the hunger to succeed and hunger to do something with his life, like, something like that. And then he said, no, literally, I had to eat. I had nothing to eat. I had no food. So I fought to buy myself something to eat. That's why he fought. That's why this guy started fighting, because he didn't have food on his table. He didn't start fighting because he was inspired by some boxing legend or because he grew up always wanting to be a fighter, or like maybe he had some aspirations regarding that. But he literally fought as a teenage kid to entertain grown-ass individuals so he can have something to eat. That's why he started fighting. And I clarified. So you had nothing to eat? Yeah, I had nothing to eat. I was hungry. Like literally hungry. That's why he started fighting. Now, this is the truth. There's truth in a lot of third world countries that have boxing in it. It kind of puts in perspective. And Orlando Salido started, that's why he lost his first pro fight. He didn't know what he was doing. He just went in the ring like, okay, what do I do? Okay, these are my gloves. I'm going to throw punches at that guy. Right? So I guess I got to punch him more than he punches me or knock him the fuck out. Okay. That's all he knew. And then he started training, and while already being a professional as a teenager, he started learning on the job. Just learning on the job, folks. This dude turned professional, in 1996. It took him a while, like a decade or more, to finally find his identity in that ring. I mean, he really was the definition of a journeyman fighter. Like when you look at those the boxing participation, you see like 1,000 fighters in a division. Like he was in the bottom pit of that, and he fought his way up. Like over time, he started climbing up the ranks, losing, getting bumped down, going back up, bumped down, but slowly but surely reaching that top 25 echelon, and then getting to the top 10, winning, championships, upsetting a hot prospect. Okay, well, we couldn't really say prospect. He was already a champion in 30-0, but a young gun like Juan Manuel Lopez that had all this hype around him. Oh, Manuel Lopez. Cotto isn't the best fighter out of Puerto Rico. He's not even the best, fighter out of his hometown. It's Juan Manuel Lopez. So expose the dude, man. Expose them. Let's fast forward a little bit. Just a little bit. He defeated Orlando Cruz. Actually, before we get to Orlando Cruz, he got in the ring with Mikey, a 30-0 Mikey Garcia. All right? At Mikey Garcia's best weight. Look, he was getting outboxed. He got dropped. He kept getting up. Right? Most guys get knocked down like that, embarrassed like they don't get back up, folks. Right? They act like they're knocked out or they quit in the corner. They get content. They just survive. Okay, the way Garcia just survived against Spence, like that. Orlando Salido, despite getting embarrassed early on and clearly outboxed, looking clearly outmatched, did not stop grinding. All right? This dude fought to just put food on his table before. What do you think he's going to do when there's hundreds of thousands of dollars, up for grabs? He's going to fight. Whatever he got. I don't even know what he got paid for that fight, to be honest with you. But I would imagine around the 500,000 and 800,000 range, But I don't know that. Okay, just being honest. But it was still a lot of money. All right? And you started seeing how uncomfortable Mikey Garcia was getting in that fight. Now, granted, he was winning. And we don't really know what would happen. But there's many people that till this day believe he found the convenient way out. Right? It is what it is. We'll never know. Right? But he was turning that fight around. It was visible that it went from clearly outboxing Salido to it's getting a little competitive, but Mikey's still winning to Mikey looking uncomfortable. What the fuck's about to happen? And then the fight was over. All right? Technical decision, whatnot, whatever. Okay? I forgot to mention another fight. All right? I keep mentioning fights, but in 2006, a 19-1 Robert Guerrero. He beat the piss out of Robert Guerrero in that fight. Okay, if you watch that fight, I know it was later declared a no contest. I get all that. And I get the controversy behind that. But he never had those issues again, though. But he beat the shit out of Robert Guerrero. All right? If you watch that fight, you cannot, like, Robert, it was competitive, okay, to a certain degree. But to me, it was clear that Orlando Salido was beating his ass in that fight. Okay, like Ashy Knuckles once said, okay, he put his boot up Robert Guerrero's ass. All right, shout out to Ashy Knuckles. I haven't seen that dude in a while here on YouTube. Let's petition for Ashy Knuckles to come back. All right. All right, so let's take a look here. That's a fight I almost forgot about, by the way. Okay? There was also another fight against Renata Costa. Okay. I mean, Renata Costa had some potential. Salido fucked him up. Okay. Now let's go back. We should have started with that, but he beat Orlando Cruz. Right? He beat Orlando Cruz for the. Everybody remembers that, right? The rainbow colored, like Salido put a stop. Okay, to that. Okay, he just put a stop. This whole like mainstream press never covers boxing, but all of a sudden there's an open gay dude boxing, and there's an open gay. He might be the first open gay champion, and this, that, and the third. And look, I don't care if you're gay, right? But like the way the press was covering it when they never cover shit, Orlando Salido put a stop to that, right? So we got to give Orlando Salido credit for that, guys. Okay, and he won by knockout, by the way, right? Like he spared us all this done. Like they didn't talk about it at all afterwards. But she. Well, that's it. Who is the 1-13-1? Can you answer that? The 1-13-1 is who is? Who is it? The answer is to the riddle is Orlando Salido. This riddle never ends, right? As long as Lomachenko never loses again, I mean, that riddle is going to be great. I mean, all you got to do is move the first number. That's all you got to do. So let's talk about the fight. I got people looking at this. People like, oh no, he was hitting them low and he was being dirty. And first of all, let's talk about before the fight. There was a time here on YouTube that the only one talking about Vasily Lomachenko was me. Okay, when I covered 2 Olympics, nobody else talking about it, right? That I know of, in the white TBC or whatever you want to call it. Okay, in this boxing nation, and I told everybody, okay, everybody pump their brakes. This dude should not be jumping into the ring with Orlando Salido in his second pro fight because he's gonna lose. Yes, he's a 2-time gold medalist. Yes, at some point, maybe down the line, he's going to be far better than Orlando Salido ever was. But that time's not now. I told you guys, but did he listen to D-Style? No. You went and you listened to all these other channels, right? You didn't listen to me. Like, you guys, if you listened to me, first of all, you would have bet on the fight. You would have won money. That's number one. You could make moolah if you just listen to me, right? I told you he's going to lose this fight. He's going to lose. He should not be fighting. Like, wait, 4 or 5 more fights. So what are you doing fighting him now? For what? Oh, but did you see how he looked in his debut? Like, yeah, he fought a dude ranked like 53rd in the world, and he knocked him out, like in the second round in his first pro fight? Of course that's impressive. All right? Of course. Doesn't mean he was ready for Salido. Right? He wasn't ready. Like, you guys dumb. So anyway, the fight starts, right? And I'm hearing shit like before, like, oh no, but Lomachenko, not only does he have all this amateur experience, style. I mean, they were throwing shit at me that I already knew, right? He only had 1 loss in the amateurs, which he avenged, and the loss was in a gold medal in the World Championships, style, and he still avenged that loss, Styles. He's never lost. Plus, he's already at quote unquote pro fights in the boxing World Series or whatever the fuck this shit was called. Yeah, he was boxing without headgear against other amateurs, is what he was doing. Right? Headgear doesn't make it an amateur fight. An amateur fight is when you fight a non-professional, right? Now, granted, I'll give you this. Top amateurs are better than your average pro fighter. Okay, that's true. But Lomachenko's not your average fighter. Right? He's not a dude ranked, like 30th in the world. He bit off more than he can chew. And till this day, you're getting clowned for it, right? And you got nobody to blame but him. He's the one that swore up and down he could beat Salido in the second fight. Right? That is on him. Oh, but if they fought today, first of all, we don't know that. They would have to fight for us to know. I can guess he would win, but we don't know, right? But still, Salido's retired. He snatched that O and he's gone. Like, that's it. Like, give me that O, and he's fucking he's done. Right now, look, that fight. There's an old saying in boxing: turn it into a back alley brawl. When you fight a guy who is very technically sound and he's used to having technically sound fights against other technically sound fighters, you take him out of his element. That's what Salido did. Salido wasn't going to like box him on mid range or on the outside and try to outpoint fucking Loma. You guys crazy? He would have been embarrassed. He wouldn't have landed anything if he fought that way. He got close to him. And yes, he landed a lot of borderline shots. That's just, he made it ugly. Are you guys shocked? I told you he was going to make it ugly. It's what he had to do. And he did. All right. But he was also landing upstairs on Lomachenko. Lomachenko looked lost for a couple of rounds. He's never experienced something like that. Ever. All the amateur experience doesn't give you that. The type of amateur boxing that this dude is doing is fencing compared to pro boxing. And the World Series of Boxing wasn't, multiple rounds. The gloves weren't as small either. In the later rounds, credit to Lomachenko, he figured out what to do. And he was the one that looked like he almost had Salido out of there, but he ran out of time. And Salido won the fight, folks. If you want to fight, you got the W. He snatched that O. And that's what happens when your arrogant ass thinks you could fight Orlando Salido in his second pro fight. He snatched the O. Snatched it from him. Give me that O. Give me that. And now he is the one in 13-1. He didn't hit him 100 times in the nuts. Okay, they were borderline shots. Calm down. Right? I do not want to do another low blow for dummies video. All right? Cornwall, Lomachenko haters call him a bum. Well, I'm not calling him a bum. I'm just saying he made the wrong choice fighting Salido in the second pro fight. He had about 15 world title fights. He's a dirty bastard, though. Well, he is. Hey, look at this dude, butt hurt. Oh, he's a cheater. You cheated. Like, did he get disqualified? No. He was getting mugged in the first half of that fight. It's up to him to do something about it, right? They both agreed to the ref. You know, they have to both agree to the ref, right? So there you go. Go watch that fight again. Man, stop being butthurt. Plus, Lomachenko looked great in the next fight. So like this idea that, obviously he was really, really good. He just picked the wrong time to fight a guy like Salido. It's all good if the ref don't see it and call it, says main boxing backer. There you go. So what happened after this? What happened after this? Orlando Salido fought, I'm going to try to pronounce this, but Tertsak Kokijim Janhenmer. I can't pronounce that shit. Okay? A guy who has not lost since that Salido fight, by the way. Great fight. Right? Saw last night. Great fight. Great body work by Salido. A lot of borderline shots, too. a master at bending those rules. Got a great knockout victory, man. I mean, this was coming off the win over, Snatch Neto for life from Lomachenko, and getting this big knockout victory. I mean, I couldn't help but feel good for Orlando Salido, man. That was in Tijuana, Mexico, that fight. He had 2 fights from Roman Martinez. Unanimous decision, first fight. Draw in the second fight. Francisco Vargas had a draw with him. War. A victory over a guy called Perez. I did not watch that fight. And then Miguel Roman. He got stopped. That was late 2017. So salute to Orlando Salido. This is Orlando Appreciation Week, and he does belong in the Hall of Fame. I don't care what anybody says. He is the one in 13-1. In fact, I think Lomachenko should induct him. That's what I think. I think Lomachenko should be there to induct Orlando Salido. That's right. We should make him induct. Right? Be like, yeah, he's the one. And maybe by then it'll be like 25-1 or something. All right. But there you go. Oh man, this is great. Anyway, in all seriousness, Orlando Salido was a warrior, man. He was a fighter's fighter, always came to fight, would always grind it in that ring, never settled for just not getting stopped or, I guess I'll just agree not to engage more and just take the L, or that just, it wasn't in him to do that. It wasn't in him. There was no quit in him. There was nothing like that. I mean, he was a journeyman fighter, learning on the job, literally. Worked his way up the rankings, slowly worked his way up the rankings like fine wine, slowly, over time. Get it to the top 50, the top 25, the top 15, the top 10. Getting title shots, falling short, get another title shot. Being put in there as a quote-unquote opponent. Spoiling plans. Winning championships. Winning vacant titles. Beating a 2-time gold medalist that thought he could just jump in there and beat him. And said, nah, kid, you're not going to just come in here and beat me. I think he took it as an insult. You think you could beat me? Okay, let's do it then. And guess what? He snatched that O. Well, that's what you get. That's what you get. Don't get mad at me. I'm not the one that made that. I told you guys don't make this fight. If Top Rank Promotions would listen to D-Style, be like, you know what? D-Style's saying don't make the fight yet. He wouldn't have that. He would not have that 1 and 13-1. Somebody's got to make a 1 and 13-1 T-shirt, right? Maybe we should wait till Lomachenko retires. Like let's say he retires at 30-1, like the 1 and 30-1. Okay, yeah, okay. There was not 100 punches in the nuts, guys. Okay, like stop exaggerating. Boxing took a hit that day. Orlando Cruz went on the scales with the Rainbow Speedos. Orlando Salido put a stop to that shit. Like, we ain't have this shit here. Like, boom, knockout, done. Right? What that bullshit over here with the rainbow flag, and he put the Puerto Rican flag in rainbow colors, and oh yeah, and then the press was covering it. Like I think I saw it on like fucking Good Morning America. Like, oh, there's a fighter. He might be the first openly gay, and like they're just parading it around. All right. Like, boom, beat his ass, knocked him out, goodbye. I don't give a shit if you're gay, all right? But this media never even covers boxing. All of a sudden, they had it all over the place. Shit's insane. And then he beat freaking Lomachenko. Then he snatches the O. No, he's ready to style. Well, no, he wasn't. He lost. All right. Unbelievable. Can't believe it. And until this day, like they get mad when you bring it up. No, but he fought dirty though. Like you guys knew how Orlando Salido fought before you fought him. You already knew this. Acting all surprised and shit. Oh, but did you see how he fought? He made it a dirty fighting style. Yeah. What? What the? AD style says Loma didn't want that rematch smoke. Do you think he learned how to defeat that style Salido? We don't know yet. All right. Salido was not in his prime, folks, when he fought Lomachenko. That's number 2. Okay. Now you could argue, well, a guy like him learning on the job and getting that experience, maybe that was his prime. Maybe I guess you can argue that now that I think about it. But if you get a young, fighter who doesn't have to be Salido's quote unquote style, but that could put on a lot of pressure, is not going to settle for anything. We don't know yet how Lomachenko's going to handle that. Okay. I honestly believe that nobody could beat Lomachenko in a straight up boxing match. Okay. Meaning from mid range, okay, to long range. Like, I don't think he will outbox anybody in a technical boxing match. The dude's a boxing master. If you want to play chess, move for move, I can only move the pawn, 2 steps the first time. After that, it's just 1 step, and the pawn can only be used to, to capture, the other pieces, vertically, the rook only moves this way, and then it's your turn. Now it's my turn. Like if you play chess like that with Lomachenko, he's gonna fucking destroy you. So what do you got to do? Hey, what's that over there? And then boom, you move a piece when he isn't looking. That's what you got to do. And that's exactly what he did. He played a gullible dude, okay, and he said, "What's that?" And then Lomachenko turned around, and then he would just take a piece from the board or something, or move a piece where it doesn't belong. All right, and then you got people complaining about, "Oh man, you see? Look, when he wasn't looking, he moved that piece." Look at all these tattletales over here, all right? That's what tattletales do. Oh no, look! Like, come on now, right? Don't get in the middle. Don't rain on the dude's hustle, right? Don't rain on the dude's hustle. So what did the guy was in? So what? All right. Wait. No. The light cutter ones go first. Well, wait. It's not your turn to go yet. Salido, don't like that's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do with Lomachenko, and that's what Salido did. Not to mention the pressure, right? Because when you get pressured on, since it's one of the topic of chess, if you give a chess master time to think, oh yeah, well, you're never going to beat him. Okay, he's thinking of all the scenarios, where to put the piece. Well, if he does this, he'll do this, and if he does this, I'll do this. He'll do this, and then I'll do this. And he'll think like 5, steps ahead, 20 steps ahead. The better master he is, the more steps ahead he could think. And if you do this, he'll do that. And when you put pressure on the guy, like bam, the clock's on. You got 10 seconds to make a move. You're out of time, right? Like just like that. You keep putting pressure on a chess master. He's got to make quick decisions. And when you make quick decisions, you make mistakes. Nobody gambling. Look at all you dudes pointing fingers and tattletelling. All right? You guys probably be at ringside like, ref, he hit him. Look, he hit him low, ref. Get the fuck out of here. All right? There's dirty players in this game. It's the way it is, bro. How you guys not know this? Not everybody fights cookie cutter, right? It's just not. There's dudes that bring a street fight element to boxing, right? Obviously, they can't fully street fight, but they'll bend that shit as long as it don't break. As much as it can bend it before it breaks, they'll do it. Like point blank, period. Turn that shit into a back alley brawl. Make them uncomfortable. Make them think quick. Don't give them time to look at all the scenarios. Pressure them so he only has time to look at 3 scenarios. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Orlando Salido, his pressure got to guys. It was getting to Garcia late in that fight. And anybody who saw that fight knows this, right? He obviously got to, I mean, Juanma looked like he saw a ghost, okay, when he emptied the clip on Salido. Right? Now you remember Game of Thrones when like the Khaleesi's like Dracarys, okay, and throws a fire at the fucking Night King and it does nothing? And she's like, oh, fuck. That's the look Juanma had. Game of Thrones stole that look from that fight. Right? Like, hey, when we had boxing on HBO, there was this one fight, right? There's one dude, man, like he would knock dudes out and he'd fuck guys up and, he would empty the clip and dudes would fall. But I saw this one fight. Man, this Juan Manuel Lopez guy, he landed everything and the kitchen sink and the refrigerator, right? And Salido got the kitchen sink, the refrigerator, and threw it back at this guy. That's what he did. Threw it back at him. So I'm just saying. Okay, like of course he made it. Of course he did. What are you guys talking about? Like, oh, but he did. Look at what he did. Like, the fuck out of here. All right. All these tattletales. Like, oh, but look. Like watching slow motion video and so what? Like if he landed below the waist. First of all, he was landing on the balls. Okay, that's number one. All right, you guys are a bunch of fucking exaggerators. All right. But yes, when it was out of ref's view, yeah, he was landing low. And B-Hop did that shit all the time. There's one ref. If you can use your body, okay, to cover the angle when the ref's not looking, bam, go low. Hey, protect yourself at all times, right? If Lomachenko had enough pro fights, right? If he fought guys that were like Salido style, but not as good or nowhere near that journeyman level, then he would have experienced those things, but his skill would have been so much better that he would have gotten rid of them earlier. And he would have learned from those things, anticipated those things. But no, I'm gonna jump in there with Salido now. You have to press but he is a better boxer than Salido. I mean, he's a 2-time gold medalist. He only lost one of the amateurs, which was a gold medal world championship match, which he did avenge. And he's a 2-time Olympian, 2-time gold medalist, and look how good he looked against a dude ranked like 53rd in the world. I mean, he knocked him out like in the second round. He's ready for Salido. I mean, he's a better boxer. When he throws a jab, it's such a nicely placed jab. It's so much better than Salido's. His hooks and his crosses. I mean, they're so textbook. I mean, they're so wellly thrown. And if like he was gonna like Salido, okay, was gonna do like the whole chest and you go, I go, you go, I go. You go, I go. Hey, I'm going to go get a drink in the fridge. Okay, no problem. I'm just going to sit here, and I'm not going to monkey with a fucking chessboard at all. All right, you're back. Okay, let's go. All right, you think about your next move, okay, while I text this person here. Okay, no. Make your move now. Make your move now. Hey, what's that over there? Oh, look, let me move this piece. What just happened? I don't know. Let's keep going. It was just a different dynamic, and Lomachenko wasn't used to it. She loved the GTV says, but these style, you don't understand these style. I don't know about that. Me about that. Brown Sugar Ray Leonard was the first openly gay boxer I ever heard of. I don't know. Boxing dialogue. Salido versus Loma was similar to the first Castillo Mayweather fight, except Castillo didn't get the decision. Also, Castillo didn't look at the verge of getting knocked out late in that fight. Um, Boxing main bikers snitches get stitches. If the ref didn't call it, then you got to stop pounding the man. Boxing dialogue. Salido was definitely a great learning experience for Loma. Now, when Loma is fouled, he instantly complains to the ref or fires back. Main boxing biker, for crying out loud, Maidana bit Floyd Mayweather in the hand, allegedly. Ref Flair will low blow you in the nuts when the ref back his turn. Woo! Salido was styling, profiling, jet flying. I don't think the dude could afford a jet, but still, right? With that said, I want to thank you all for listening to this Orlando Salido appreciation video. All right. This is D Style, and I'm out of here. Peace.